When a headline says something like, "When notorious cheater met Dakota Ditcheva, she got humiliated," it's clearly built for maximum drama. But before diving into the narrative, it's important to ground it in what's actually known about Dakota Ditcheva and how combat sports stories often get exaggerated for clicks. Dakota Ditcheva has built her reputation the old-fashioned way: skill, speed, and relentless pressure inside the cage. As one of the brightest rising stars in the Professional Fighters League, PFL, she's known for her sharp striking, explosive combinations, and composure under pressure. Her background in kickboxing and Muay Thai gives her a technical edge that's obvious the moment a fight begins. Now, about the notorious cheater angle, in combat sports, that label gets thrown around for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's about a fighter who previously failed a drug test. Sometimes it's about repeated fouls like eye pokes, fence grabs, or illegal strikes. And sometimes it's simply trash talk amplified by promotional hype. Without a specific, confirmed case, that term is more marketing than fact. If this headline is referencing a matchup where Dakota Ditcheva faced an opponent who had controversy surrounding them, what often happens in those scenarios is this: the narrative before the fight is loud. Fans debate fairness, commentators question integrity, social media takes sides. But once the cage door closes, skill becomes the only language that matters, and that's where Dakota Ditcheva thrives. She doesn't rely on theatrics, she relies on precision. Her footwork creates angles that frustrate aggressive opponents. Her striking accuracy punishes mistakes instantly. Fighters who try to bully or overwhelm her frequently find themselves walking into counters they didn't see coming. When an opponent with a controversial reputation steps in expecting intimidation to work, the outcome can feel humiliating, not because of theatrics, but because of clarity. Clean technique versus chaos, discipline versus desperation. In fights where she dominates, the humiliation narrative usually comes from how one-sided the performance looks. A fighter hyped as dangerous or controversial suddenly appears outmatched. The supposed psychological edge disappears. The audience shifts from tension to inevitability. But it's important to separate performance from personal attack. Losing decisively in MMA doesn't make someone morally inferior, it just means they were beaten on that night. The sport is brutal, and reputations can change in a single round. Dakota Ditcheva's rise has been defined by momentum. Each win reinforces the idea that she's not just talented, she's evolving. Her composure under the spotlight suggests she's built for big stages. When faced with opponents who bring controversy or loud personas, she often responds with the most effective counterargument possible: dominance. In modern MMA, narratives are part of the business. Promoters lean into rivalries. Broadcasters amplify tension. Headlines exaggerate conflict. But the athletes themselves typically focus on preparation, weight cuts, strategy, and execution. If there was a specific fight where a controversial opponent was thoroughly beaten by Ditcheva, the likely humiliation refers to a dominant knockout or TKO, a one-sided striking clinic, a technical dismantling that exposed defensive flaws, or a confident post-fight moment where composure contrasted sharply with pre-fight bravado. What makes Dakota particularly compelling is that she doesn't need drama to generate interest. Her performances speak loudly enough. And here's the bigger picture. In combat sports, redemption arcs are just as common as downfall stories. Today's notorious figure can become tomorrow's comeback story. Today's humiliating loss can become the motivation for reinvention. For Dakota Ditcheva, the trajectory is clear. She's building a legacy centered on legitimacy. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just skill development and competitive growth. If you're looking to turn that headline into a strong YouTube-style title without crossing into defamation territory, here are cleaner but still powerful alternatives. Dakota Ditcheva silences controversial opponent in dominant performance. Talk is cheap. Dakota Ditcheva delivers brutal reality check. Underrated no more. Dakota Ditcheva breaks down hyped rival. Confidence versus controversy. Dakota Ditcheva makes a statement.
If you'd like, tell me the exact fight or opponent you're referencing, and I can craft a dramatic but accurate breakdown script that fits your channel's style.